Hi everybody, I is back. Sorry, I got a little wound up. It is I cat. I am in a very happy spot right now, in case you guys didn't know. Anyways, to let you guys know what I am doing, if you are new here, or if you're just catching up, I am still working on the Dunnock September, or the Bird Whisperers project, September's Bird, because I'm doing it the really, really hard way of doing things. Kind of. Alright, so the program I am using, for all those who want to know, is the Sketchbook Pro version. You can get a free version on any platform that you so wish, whatever heart desire you may wish. If you're a huge fan of, well, wait, no, you can't do it off of Linux. I lied. I'm so very, very sorry. Hello, Feringer. I had a I had a rush of dopamine for no other reason than, oh, right. Sorry, I had to think about it for a second because of the sheer amount of rush of dopamine. I was reading something that somebody had posted asking for advice on how to wind up their friend who believed that they had never, ever, ever seen Lord of the Rings before. And it was so gloriously terrible, and I loved it. Like, absolutely nothing they said would have been wrong, but it was great. Anyways, so yes. And believe it or not, I really, really haven't actually done anything. I haven't had anything. I literally just pulled out my Mountain Dew mystery flavor Voodoo soda, and I haven't even had a sip yet. I'm just that wound up happy from something absolutely ridiculous, and it's great. Okay, going back to what I was saying. So the sketchbook programs are on anything but Linux, and I'm so sorry that I lied. I'm so very, very sorry. I'm sure that there's a plugin for it. But if you have like anything else, yeah, you can go and use it. Even Android. Android. Yep, you can use it on Android. Yes, you can use it on Mac. But I'm not gonna lie, if you have access to an iPad, you should be using Procreate because, I'm sorry, Procreate's pretty awesome. I haven't personally used it, but it's like Photoshop for free. Well, no, I think it's like $5 or something. It's really ridiculously cheap. And please keep it at that level because some of us are just now getting into the money section of their life. That's how life works, right? You go for the majority of the time being broke, then you go and get some monies, and then you go back to being broke. That's the way I understand it. And then you go back to having monies. Huh, that's interesting. Anyways, so I am using the Sketchbook Pro version, which is like a $20 investment. You get some really nice things, you get some nice layers, yada yada. The tablet I am using is the Huon. I believe it is the Canvas 19. Do not quote me on it. But I will always swear by Huon is a incredibly cheaper version of Wacom. Wacom is nice, but I almost feel like the Huon is more sensitive. And then there's my lovely piece of headgear that I am wearing. It is the Onikuma K1B. Ha! I remembered it without looking at it. Yes! And then my recording software is the OBS system. Woohoo! Okay, now that I went through all of that, it took me what? Oh, less than 5 minutes. Woohoo! I still haven't had a sip of my Mountain Dew yet. Alright, give me like 30 seconds. Hello, I am back. Okay. Right. I am still drawing feathers. Feathers, feathers. Feathers. Ah, I made it go green. Eek. So, something I will say that you should probably have with a with a the one thing I will say that you have to have, or that you should have with a monitor tablet, a tablet that has a monitor in it, not just like a regular tablet, but like a drawing tablet that has a monitor or is a computer inside of it. You should go and have like one of those arm things. I forget what they're called exactly, but you know, kind of like how you go and hang up your flat screen TV on your wall and everything. You should have one of those type things for your tablet, for your monitor tablet, because I don't have one and I like to move my tablet around, and unfortunately, that also means that there's a good chance I'm yanking my screen, my cables, my visual cables, out of my tablet. So I don't recommend that. And having the arm thing, I forget what it's called, but I'm sure that some of our more computer techie people can probably provide the appropriate answer for that. They are very good for stuff. Not the computer techie people, but the computer tech. The arm is very good for doing movements without tearing out the cables, because the cables are a part of the arm and are already like tied into place. Ah, sorry, I was having like one of my hyperactive moments there, and it took a lot, or it's taking a lot of energy to slow down both my speech and my brain. And yes. Yes, it's been a little while since I've had that type of dopamine interaction. So, you know, I've mostly have had a pretty steady flow of it recently. I've been trying to recently take vitamins consistently, which is helping stabilize a lot of the other stuff that's going on. So there is all that. Anyways, you want to know something really awesome about art? Aside from, you know, it's incredibly peaceful to do, and if you don't mind taking forever on stuff, it will create absolutely beautiful work. I'm not gonna lie, this painting is not gonna turn out exactly like the bird. Bird, bird, birdie, bird, 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 birdie, bird. Anyways, is that you can be completely malicious compliant with stuff. Like, if you don't agree with something, you can totally go and put it into whatever it is you're doing, and you can pretty much just flip people off without actually flipping people off. It's great. Probably, what is it? I know, I am doing like stuff I shouldn't be doing. Hey, look, there's a paintings that we were looking at last time. Let's see, what is it? Merchants of Death. I think that's right. No. Is it Ambassadors of Death? Ambassadors of Death. Ah, yes! This one, right here. The Ambassadors. Okay. So, I don't need all this other crap. Please go away. I want the image. Go away. Where's the painting? All I want is the painting. I don't need all this other crap. I just want the painting. You guys suck. Okay. You guys suck. Okay. The ambassadors. Okay. The ambassadors. Painting! There we go. Okay. So here's this amazing thing. I'm sure that everyone under the sun has actually sat there and kind of is aware of what this is. So this is a painting that was done literally years ago. But the thing is that these two dudes, while this guy was painting them, essentially did shit all for their job. And the artist knew it and literally painted a skull down here. But he already was getting paid for the work, so he just kind of flipped them off and was like, yeah, but unless you know it's a skull, whenever you first look at it, you don't realize it's a skull. But yeah, no, if you take a mirror, which I can't show you, but if you take a mirror and you put it at the right angle, it's a perfectly proportioned skull right there. So yeah, no, these two pretty much caused, like, I forget if they caused a war or whatever, and you can look it up on Wikipedia. Here, go take a screenshot of whatever you want to go and take a screenshot of. I don't recommend the crap that's down here because it will absolutely just bring you to tears. Anyways, yeah, no, it's like a super awesome painting. Ooh, it's on oak. Ooh, it was restored in 96. That's cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember it looking this good, but that would explain why. But yes, no, it's super cool. But yeah, this dude pretty much just, like, flipped them off and was like, yeah, no, you guys all suck. So, anyways, art has always been a part of politics, and artists have, you know, they always have opinions about politics. And like jesters, like today's artists are now the jesters of the world because, you know, we don't have court jesters anymore. Yeah, sure, we have comedians, but, you know, they aren't in places where, like, there's some places where some comedians can sit there and be like, yeah, you guys suck. Like, Saturday Night Live happens to be one of those places. I haven't ever watched Saturday Night Live, but I definitely know that they do a lot of, like, political stand-up and stuff like that. Anyways, but yeah, no. Yeah, I am older, and I haven't actually seen Saturday Night Live. I don't even know if it's still going, or if it's just, like, this mythical thing anymore. And yeah. Oh my god! There we go. Has anyone actually seen Saturday Night Live? Oh, there it is. There is a new movie that's coming out that's about it, and I'm very interested in being able to see it. I don't know if I will or not. Mostly because I've got, like, so much stuff going on. And yeah, I don't know. There are so many other movies I've wanted to go and see in theaters, and as far as the ratings, as far as, like, rankings go on seeing that in theaters, that is not very high on my rankings, but it's far more likely to go and see it in theaters than to go and see half the other stuff that's in theaters. I know, it's such a weird thing to say. Ah, man. But no, I'm very curious about it. I've always been curious about, like, documentary type movies, biopics, and things like that. Because I've always been very, very interesting in all of that kind of stuff. I am not going to be making a lot of sense tonight. I don't know if I ever make any sense. Do I ever make any sense on these videos, or am I just like, oh no? That's not quite what I meant, but yeah. So the answer is no. I see that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm actually going to do it or not, but I'm thinking about maybe switching instead of doing a digital format to a traditional format. Meaning I would go and most times. Anyways, as I was saying, I was thinking about maybe switching over from doing videos traditionally, like going and pulling out all my art supplies, which I do have a lot of art supplies, and then going and doing the pieces traditionally, and then doing the live streams from there. Although it will make life a little bit more difficult because, you know, having to be. Oh, I'm not going to make sense today? Great. Okay. But as I was saying, but as I was saying, doing doing this painting traditionally would be much faster. Okay, so the one reason why this is taking me so long is that when you work digitally, you want to work at least 1.5 times bigger than what your final piece is going to be. This painting is 13 inches by 13 inches. Why is it so big? It's because if I wanted to go and put this on shirts, or if I wanted to go and put this, not that I will go and put this on shirts. This is not painting to go on shirts. But if I wanted to, I need to be able to have this at a size that I can go and put into whatever format I want, posters, things like that. and 13 by 13 is a pretty decent size. It's not as big as it could be, but it's a pretty good size, and it won't be degraded it won't easily be degraded as it gets bigger. And when I say 13 by 13, I mean 13 inches by 13 inches. It's 300 DPI. But for most of what I want to do, it is going to be about that size. Well, it's not going to be about that size, but it's going to be large enough that if I want to do larger pieces, I could do it with larger pieces. Like shirts, bags, things like that. Now, here's the thing about traditional art, which is super cool. You can make an image as small or as big as you want traditionally, and then you scan it in at 300 DPI or 300 to 600 DPI, and you can make it as big or as small as you want. You will have less problems with it overall. So yeah, that is what I'm thinking. Mostly because I want to not necessarily be done with a piece, but it seems like the more I work digitally, the less I get done. Like, I can do a bunch of graphic design stuff super quick on here, but if I do illustration work, it takes me 2 to 3 times as long to do it. And that's because I am going through the traditional process in a digital media. And it could just be that it's most likely that I'm not using the medium to its advantage, which I'm not, and I know I'm not. That's not what I wanted you to do. Bad computer. Of course, things like this doesn't help. But I know that I'm not using it to what I want it or not using it to its advantage. And that is because there is something that I miss when I do I don't do that, when I try to use it to its advantage, or to what is considered the advantage of digital, is that it could just be that I'm not at the point that I can use it, but it is something that I'm working on. Not as fast or as great as I want to be, but yes. So Thursday may be a different setup. I don't know yet. I don't know yet if Thursday is going to be a different setup. It will take a little bit more, it'll take a little bit more prep than it does if you are just doing digital. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of prep with digital, but it's a different kind of prep. Mostly stabilization. Yeah, mostly stabilization. So there is that. Yeah, yeah. If you have any questions about the craziness that's going on, oh no. Oh, good. Okay. You know, that's something that is funny. See, with digital artwork is that you can work on layers after layers after layers after layers. Well, with traditional artwork, yeah, you can still work with layers, but it's an entirely different layer set. Because what happens is that you're not working with layers, you're working with layers. You are applying a layer. You are not able to switch layers. Now, in some cases, you are able to switch layers. There are many art forms that are built on that. Probably one of the more recent ones that I've seen is the skulls that are being made out of fractured glass, that are pieces of glass that are being hammered out or hammered on, and the fractures are being all put together to create skulls within the fractures, but it's all different sheets of glass put together. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not. It's really cool. It's really hard. I have done painting on glass before. I don't recommend it. Yeah, it's a lot. If you have seen those paintings on stores and things, on window paintings, I know that a lot of stores will just go and buy like posters and things to go and put in their windows, but some still go and do the window paintings, which are super cool and really, really hard to do. And depending on the artist, some are inside, some are outside. Outside painting is a bit easier because you work in a more traditional style. But if you're painting from the inside, you are working in a far less traditional style. And it is something else. It is definitely something else. But yeah, that is definitely a thing. So, I highly, highly recommend it if you get the chance to try it out. Because it requires, so painting glass from the inside requires a different mindset than it does painting from the outside. And I say inside and outside. So the difference with painting on on the inside versus painting on the outside, or regular painting, is that you start from the details and go out. Which is the opposite of regular painting, which is you start from the most general thing and you go in to the details. That is something that a lot of people have a hard time with, is getting that mindset. Because usually what happens I don't think most people realize this when they're doing it. It definitely younger artists. I know, here I am talking like I'm a wise and hyper intelligent artist. But or have years and years of experience. Which I do. It's just very, very different from a lot of other artists. But that's where a lot of artists end up getting tripped up, is that what they'll do is that they go and make their decisions based off of the general idea. They'll make their detailed decisions based off of what they've already got in the painting. And little kids, most paintings done by little kids are details to general. Because they'll go with, hey, this is what this looks like. And they really, really try hard as to make it look like what it's supposed to look like. And so you get lots of details. Well, as you grow into being an artist, you get less and less details, and you focus on what details matter. And that's where a lot of the fudgery comes in. Like, what I'm doing here is definitely not a lot of details. Sorry, guys. There is not a whole lot of details in this one. Yeah, I know that makes no sense. I'm doing all this like line work and everything, and I say that nope, no details here, man. So there's that. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I gotta check something. But yes, if you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. I can't promise that any of my answers will be right, but it is what I know. So there is that. I hope that helps. So, anyways, but no, art is yeah. But no, like I was saying, I might go and switch over to doing more of the traditional work in my next vid, because yeah, I'm faster at it, but I have more control as well. Don't get me wrong, you've got plenty of control in digital painting, like way more than you ought to, but at the same time, you're not learning, or you're not, it's not that you're not learning, it's more that unless you do it a lot, you don't, the connection that you get isn't there. I don't know if that made any sense. I don't know. I find a disconnect in digital art. Yeah, I can go and create. Am I just smearing crap all over my? I might be. Um, I find that I am not as connected with my work. I can't stay on it as long as I can whenever I'm working traditional. Which let me tell you is incredibly frustrating. It is incredibly frustrating, to say the least. Because I have several pieces that I would love to finish, but I am not in a place to do so. Well, it's not that I'm not in a place. Excuse me. It's not that I'm not in a place to do so. It's more that I'm not. Gee, I don't know how to explain it. I don't have that incessant need of getting something done. Because even though I'm as far as I can be, or I'm pretty far in some of these pieces, okay, this is driving me up the wall. First, you. Really shouldn't be using you for this, but I am. And then I gotta find my gloves. I'm leaving streaks on my monitor, and it's bothering me. I don't like the streaks because it's distorting the color. There they are. It's distorting the color while I'm working, and so I'm getting distracted by that. And let me tell you, that is incredibly unhelpful when you're trying to focus on drawing. Ah. And then things like this happen. Eh. Will you stop that? Okay, whatever. Nope, we're gonna have to move you this way. There we go. So, anyways. Oh, that's so much better. Don't have things on my monitor. Lovely. But yeah, no, I have several pieces that I would love to finish, but I don't have the need to finish them. Because I'm just like, oh, I can keep going back and fixing them over and over and over again. And it's like, no, I can't. I can't go back to finish them. I can't keep going back to finish them because I've got to get them done. So then I can be like, okay, they're done. So what I'm gotta go and do is sit there and just get them to the point where not necessarily get them done, but get them to the point where I feel comfortable transferring them over to a physical piece of media, and then edit, and then transferring them over, and then doing the drawing there, or finish the painting there. That's essentially what I need to go and do. And I might. No, I will. I will. I will do it. I know I keep saying I will do these things, but these are all things that I need to go and do. What, not just for myself, but for you guys too. I know that y'all are tired of me going and being like, aren't you supposed to be doing this thing? Yes. Yes, I am. So what? So now I'm gonna make notes. Okay. And I may not get to move over to the traditional stuff immediately. It may take me a couple of tries to get the that stuff over. And who knows, I may actually go and finish those damn books too, or the damn stories. I was hoping to have them. My goal was to have them all done in October or by October. Yes, the Andrew Lang Yellow Fairy book, yada yada. Yes, those stories. My goal was to have them all done, so then I could go and put them into a book for Christmas to give to family members. Yes, I am entirely self-serving. No, the thing about being neurodivergent is that whenever you have other people's expectations, it helps you focus in on stuff. Now, does that always work? Hell no. Sometimes it does the exact opposite. But it can help a lot. Like, I will say this, I am not the best house cleaner on the planet. I absolutely hate house cleaning. It was never I can't say that it was used as a punishment when I was a kid, because it was not. There was no way that that was ever going to be punishment in my household. But I absolutely hate cleaning my house. And but I was supposed to have a friend over, and they didn't end up coming over. We're gonna be working on a project together. Not a project I think that I should share, because dear God, I will not do it for just anyone. um, it's sewing. Sewing is great to an extent. um, but these are a bunch of small changes, so it's not that big of a deal. I may end up sewing my bathing suit for a trip that's coming up in a couple of months. Anyways, the thing about this is that yeah, I have been trying to get my house like clean for a while, and it was not until the threat, yes, threat of a friend coming over that I actually was able to uh get my house clean. Now, that's not to say I haven't had other friends over and be like, yeah, my house is a mess, and they're just like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's like, no, 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 no. You guys need to actually hold up a standard for me and be like, your house is kind of gross. Yeah, yeah. Then things are all good. Yeah, then things are all good. I am I definitely need that. Don't get me wrong. That's not to say that I don't have the need to clean, because I desperately, desperately do. Like, there's a level of grossness that I can handle, and then there's the level of grossness that I cannot handle. And believe me, that's a more major cleaning too, only when company is coming over. Right? Major cleaning. Here's the thing though, it wasn't even major cleaning. If I put it all together, so here's the thing, when I clean, I have two different ways of doing it. I have my friends are coming over and I need to clean. And then I don't want to clean. So what I'll do is I'll set a timer where I play video games for 30 minutes, and then I'll go and clean for 10 minutes. And that's good enough. Now, that's not to say I didn't do something similar when I was doing my major cleaning, quote unquote major cleaning. I literally had a timer going off every 10 minutes, where I would go and work on the house for 10 minutes, and then I would go and do something else for 10 minutes. And let me tell you, I got a lot of stuff done because I was actually able to do that. But being able to be in the mindset where I can use the doing 10 minutes at a time of stuff, is like switching between tasks every 10 minutes is a lot. So is being able to go and sit down and doing the 30 minutes, 10 minutes thing. Because that was really difficult. Um, but it took me the entire weekend. Like I said, my friend didn't come over, thank God. It took me the entire weekend to go and clean my house. Like literally. I spent Sunday was a little bit different because while I spent all of Saturday working on stuff on Sunday. So I spent Saturday doing the 10-10 cleaning, and I also did that on Friday too. That's what's I started on Friday cleaning, doing the 10-10. No, my house was not that dirty, but I just had a lot of like nitpicking stuff that I was doing, just like I need to do this stuff. But um I actually had most of it done Friday night because I was trying to beat I had a set time in which I would go and allow myself to clean, and I had a very specific time and that I wanted to be done at, which let me tell you, that was incredibly helpful, except I didn't get done. So I spent all of Saturday cleaning. And when I say all of, I mean like from the time I woke up until about like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I was done. And then Sunday I continued on, but instead I was every like 30 to 40 minutes I plugged in a movie to go and watch. And so I sat for like a couple hours watching movies, and then I would go back doing it, and the cycle would continue. Sometimes instead of watching movies I would read. Um but yeah. Yeah. But yes, no, that is definitely a thing. You may be neurodivergent if having people come over helps the cleaning. Because oh my god. Um so what now some of you will know this, some of you won't. What my friends and I go and do is once a week we all try to get together. And we go and have like we try to go and have a potluck type thing, but one of our friends is like, nope, we're gonna go and make this meal. It's like, okay. And we're just like, what do we need to bring? And so, so I have a really, really bad habit of just like going through and um halfway reading stuff. Okay, it's not necessarily a bad habit. It's more like my brain doesn't completely process everything that goes through it. Um, yeah, like it's a known neurodivergent thing where yes, we see it, but we don't see it. Like we saw it, but we don't see it. Um, and it's real. It's been a giant pain in my butt. So I had asked my friend who was hosting it what we were gonna have for dinner and what I need to bring, and they're like spaghetti. I was like, okay, I'll bring spaghetti. No, that's what we were having for dinner. But by the time that I realized it, it was already too late, and I had already bought the spaghetti. So I was like, okay, well, whatever, it's fine. We'll just go and use the noodles. To be fair, at that time, I was just not mentally aware of anything. I was not in a good place at that time. Not like I like physically in a bad place, just spatially I was not, because I was constantly concerned about what was going on with work, because I was in a very unstable position at the time. Um I am in a much better place and I'm much happier where I work at now. I have a lot of freedom. Not as much freedom as I had beforehand, because you cannot have as much freedom as a company that's closing down. Yes. Yes. Um anyways, the thing with that, or I can't talk about that company because, it's only been a couple months since that happened, but anyways, let's just say it was not a good time for me. Um, but my friends have been really, really understanding, and I appreciate that about them. Like, I really, 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 really appreciate my friends. They are freaking awesome, and I I am a lot. I know that I'm a lot, and I try to. I know that I'm not very successful with it, but I do try to reduce the amount of allotness that I am. But I know that I don't succeed. I 100% know that I don't succeed. Anyways, it's just one of those things that, yeah, it's going to take a little while for me to be not in a lot thing. Sorry. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things. And I have to find a balance because, I don't want to be inauthentic, and I don't feel like my friends would be appreciative if I was inauthentic. But at the same time, I don't want to overwhelm them with a lot of stuff. The one that usually hosts, which slightly drives me up the wall, the one that usually hosts our dinners, one, they really, really like to cook, which is absolutely fine by me. Two, once they get home, they don't want to leave. And unfortunately, they get home before any of us, and it's just like, dude, come on. And so once they get home, they don't want to leave, so we usually go over to their house. However, I was kind of hoping that eventually, since now that I have my own place, that we'd, oh, I don't know, circle around with each other so then we're not always at one person's place and it would force me to clean. But that was my goal because, like I said, I'm an incredibly selfish person. And I think that my friends know that, and the fact that they're accepting of it. And I don't, when I say selfish, it's not like, I don't care. Like, there are, oh, that reminds me. Yeah, that reminds me. I gotta make sure that I go and send a text in like 2 days to be like, woohoo, go you! Or wish you luck. But it's not that I don't care. I know that I'm a selfish person, but it's not that I don't care about my friends. I do. Um, and it's not that I don't think about them. It's that sometimes my social anxiety is so crippling. Like, there are times where there's a friend that I want to go and message so badly, but I physically cannot make myself be able to do it, and it sucks because it makes me feel like I'm being a bad friend, but yet that bad friend thing does not overcome the, oh my god, I'm going to annoy them, I'm going to end up bothering them, and it's going to be terrible, and they're not going to want to talk, and it's all this, that, and the other. And it's incredibly crushing because I'm not able, even though there are like 3 or 4 people that I think about a day, and it's not even the same people every day. My best friend, I think about them at least once a day because I either want to go and ask them a question because they'll always tell me the truth, or like literally they are they are the absolute like most soul crushing person I know, but they always mean it in the nicest way possible. um I know, right? Why am I friends with this person? It's because I know that if anything were to happen, they would absolutely wreck the ever-loving shit out of someone. Um, and they, like I said, they'll always tell me the truth, which is super awesome of them. And I try to emulate them in many, many ways. Which, can be both a good and bad thing. But that's why you have friends, is so then you can learn from each other. At least that's my thoughts, so you can learn from each other. And I'm very selfish because I want my friends to be my friends. um, but no, sometimes you have to be selfish in order to grow better and in order to grow into a better person. I know that sounds really, really stupid and dumb, but it's so truthful. Like I've started trying to take better care of myself and learning what is good for me, even if it may not be good for someone else. You know, what's good for me may not be good for you. I don't know. I don't know what your life is like. I can give recommendations based on of my life, but anything I do recommend is all stuff that I have used and I am really, really like woot about. That's one reason why I tell you guys what I'm using, is because I recommend it, because I use it. If I didn't use it, I wouldn't recommend it. Instead, I would go and give a full video of things I absolutely hate and go and be like, hey, this is the reason why I hate this stuff. um, but no. And anything that's given to me by a friend, especially close friends. I have a pair of gloves, fingerless gloves, and I know that I've talked about them before. The ones I got before, or the ones I have before I got these new ones. They were made by a friend back in high school, and I didn't wear them for years and years because they were too itchy and I didn't like how they felt and everything. But then I started using them for my drawings and I was like, but I never got rid of them. And then I started using them for my drawings because I was like, I don't want to get rid of this because I am selfish and a friend gave me this. And, you know, even though somebody else could have probably used them in the time that I didn't, and they could have been used by so many people, a friend gave me that, and I don't want to give it to anyone else because it's one of those things that I don't feel is, or that I'm kind of selfish about. I don't know. I think I got lost somewhere in this. Maybe I should go 10 sentences back and find out where I'm lost at. Apparently that's a thing. Okay, so I read lots of different things. I don't know how many people read a lot of different things. I would hope that people read a wide variety of things. But one of the things that I read, or that I read, is like how to write better stories. And one of the things that they said in there, if you come to a block, go about 10 sentences back and you'll find your problem because you didn't write something right and it left you in a roadblock block state. And I'm just like, dude, that's like at the beginning of what I was saying. There's nothing here that I can go back to. There's nothing further. So, you know, that might be something. I don't know. You paint yourself into a corner. I have tried not to do that. I don't know how many of y'all out there have ever heard of American Girl, the actual like company American Girl. I feel like they used to be a really good company, and then I feel like they started getting even more money grubbing than they were originally, and their quality has suffered. Now, that's not to say that I have anything to compare this to, because being dirt poor, my family, or being my family being dirt poor, I was unable to get one of the dolls, which is fair. Also, I could not make up my mind as to what kind of doll I wanted. I wanted all the dolls. I wanted all the things. Anyways, so the now I was going somewhere with this. Maybe I need to go 10 sentences back. I don't know. The something with American Girl. I had this thought out. I am so sorry. It was going to be really, really good. And I'm sure as soon as I talk about something else, I'll come back to it. I love my brain. I saw a meme that accurately describes my brain. So, I don't know how many of y'all have trouble with counting or remembering how things go, but there was a meme of and I did this to my best friend and I feel so bad about it. I was so nervous working with whenever I made her coffee. We lived together for a number of years. It was almost to the point that people said that we were in a relationship. Actually, no. People consistently thought we were in a relationship because we lived together for so long. We were not. We were not. That is not the way that she swings. Sorry, guys. Well, sorry, girls, I should say. But she, but on Saturday mornings, she would go and have coffee, and I always ended up having to work on Saturdays pretty consistently, or I was doing things on Saturday. So before I would leave, I would try to be nice and go and make her a cup of coffee the way she liked it. Well, thing is that I am terrible at remembering how to count. So I literally have to, whenever I count anything, dollar bills, things like that, I have to do it in either the stacks that they make, you know, the pre-stacked stuff, or I have to go and do count it by fives. I either count by 2, 5s, or the pre-stacked. So it has made it makes my life very interesting, to say the least. I definitely spend way too much time counting stuff. So this meme that I saw, yeah, I know I can remember memes, but God forbid I remember what number I'm on when I'm counting. But it was somebody that was, the picture was of a coffee can. It was a Folgers coffee can, and a scoop of coffee, a scoop, and a coffee maker. The bigger coffee makers where you actually make a whole pot of it with the filters and everything. And it said how long it takes me to forget to count between 1 to 10. It's like, yep. The tiny itty bitty space that's not even like 6 inches is how long it takes for someone to go, for me personally, to forget what number of scoop I'm on. And it can just be like, did I count 3? Did I count 1? Did I count 2? Like, where am I at in the count? Legit. It is such an infuriating thing. And I know, it sounds so dumb. And yet, that is my glorious memory. Like, I can describe everything about this freaking meme. Hell, I could even draw it if you want. Literally, it was like... there we go. With the filter. That. And the coffee thing. Right here. And here's the scoopy thing. With the hand. Like, seriously, I can remember this, but I can't remember how long or what the number is between the counts between here and here. Like, seriously. Like, seriously. Yeah, this was the meme. Oh, right, with the little white box up here asking about that. There, see? That was the meme. And yet, ask me, you know, how come I was talking about American Girl? I have no idea. That memory just went away. Oh, so much friggin' fun. Anyways, It is almost 10 o'clock, folks. You have a good night. A good one. Or whatever. I hope that y'all are doing well out there. Stay safe. Don't hurt yourselves too hard. Too much. And I will chat with you guys later. Maybe I'll end up doing a traditional live stream. Woohoo! Talk to you guys later. Bye!